Anyway, it's been a good day. We're up 5.25 points on the mini Nasdaq trades. We had a plus 2.25 gain, -4 on the trade number two, +7 on trade number three, and now we're trying to get 750 to break down here for a move down to 450. That'll close out our session with a target gain if we get it. So far, we're getting the response I want to see off that 9 level, and we got to watch 6 very carefully. We got to see 6 not catch support, but instead break down a little. Obviously, we want 450, but I'm just saying 6 is a key number. So they did go and prop up 6 here, right here, just a while ago, and they kind of propped it up. So let's see if they can break them down under 6, and maybe we'll get a hard spike like they did on the crude oil here earlier when we were short on the crude oil at 55. You can see my marker there at 55, and then they smashed crude oil down really hard. So hopefully we can get a little similar smash on the mini NAS here, take them down to 450, and we'll close out the session. That'll close out our day for us. Um, so let's see if we can pull that off. Here we go. Bust him up. Busting 6 out. Busting 6. Looking for 6 to bust and get a hard, ideally a hard smash down to 450. I'm going to hold it because I think it's in the cards. And it may end up disappointing us a little because they are very heavily rigging the markets here on the mini NASDAQ. Crude oil, too, isn't getting much of a downside punch, but the mini NAS is really getting propped up. Not so much that they're ramping it up today. The rigging's more in line with kind of propping up the prices. Now, again, we do have this FOMC minutes note coming up in 2 hours and 20 minutes, so there could be some. That's probably, I hate to say, but that's probably why the market's acting so bizarre today, is because there's kind of a, the Federal Reserve, I call them the Federal Reserve cheerleading squad. Whenever the Fed's in the market, those jerks show up and they start their propping routine or ramping up the prices. They just always do it. They think whenever it's their day to make an announcement or do whatever, they come in and prop the markets up so they look good or whatever their oddball perception is. Still looking for a crack lower here. Let's see if we can break 7 down, 47, and crack them down under 6. 6 is like a real key number. So we can get rid of 6. The chance of a move to 450 is good. We're not doing anything with crude oil right now. We're going to kind of stand aside with that weird crude oil today. Again, it's all pent up and then boom, and now they quickly whip it back up. So we're going to just kind of leave crude oil alone at this point and see if we can break this NAS down under 6 and get a small sell-off down to 450. There is a magnetic target, what I call a magnetic target down at 450, where the prices normally would be magnetically pulled back to that level. That's our exit target as well. So I'm watching very carefully to see if the riggers are going to let them slide back under 6, or we're going to just continue to play this propping game as you see them doing right now. Right before your very eyes, you see it going on. Probably tied in with this FOMC minutes routine. We do have some slight element of a time limit. I mean, there's plenty of time. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes before that announcement, but I don't want to. I'm not going to sit in this trade too much longer if they can't crack down lower. They really should be willing to crack down lower. We got to get that 6 out of the way. That's the big support number right now. So, but I don't want to just sit in this trade forever with this looming minutes announcement and no response to our short here. We're just at break even on the trade right now, but I'm trying to get them to see if they can roll back under 6. Some signs coming in right here now that suggest they can start pulling back. Let's see if those indicator signs are going to be correct. Got them right here, right now, suggesting they can pull this thing back under 6 and start breaking them down. Let's see if we got them going here. See if we get a move down under 6 to break them down. Any second here, I'm expecting we could get a downside shift. All right, that's most appreciated. Let's continue that action here. Let's break them down. Riggers, sit on your hands for a few minutes here. Just go ahead and give it up for a few minutes. Let them go down to 450 for us. All right, well, you saw, right, when I called it, they made a little dive down to 650. I've given you the support number, and they snapping them right back to 7 here. Let's see if they can get them back under 650. I mean, we're just going tick by tick here. I mean, there's so much rigging here and propping of the markets. I just have to go tick by tick in the analysis because that's what it calls for. They should be willing to break down here right now. The way the indicators are lining up, this thing should be willing to go down and break under 6 and knock them down lower. And what's happening? More propping. Let's see if the force, the indicator force, can start driving this thing down lower and get the thing moving lower down to 5, under 6 first, and then we got to watch 5. If they can hold under 6, there might be a slight selling pile on. That's what I'm rather hoping for. Surprised it hasn't happened yet, actually. It's because of what we've been talking about. There's a lot of rigging going on here. It's not driving the market up, but it's propping it up. Trying to get them to break 6 and knock them down. 450, 5 1/4. What's the difference, right? If we can just get them down there. I don't want to be too Rambo, too brave, and hold out, and then they do what they're doing now. They spike them back up. Look at these goofy riggers. Oh, they're just disgusting. Let the market sell off. All the indicators I told you came in calling for a lower move. They took them down to 650, and now they're just whipping them back up here again. A lot of games today in the market. Riggers are propping them up. Let's try again. Hold short. Let's give it another try. Everything's there for this thing to sell off. Let's see if they can back them off. Nope. Rigger response is jack the market up. God. It's disgusting. Anything but run an honest market. Reminds me of some politicians I know. Anything but run an honest deal. It's just always drama. Never just a straight deal. Anyway, let's get them going. Still a chance they can back them off here. Roll them back under 650 and knock them down to 5 area. I'll take 5. If they go 5, they're going 450, which is our target. But this trade, I'll tell you right now, our short at 750, this should be a lot easier. I would estimate that we should have already been on our way to 6 or lower, and I'm still hoping that can come in for us here. We got to get this price holding under 675 first, then 675, and then put that pressure on 675 to knock them under 6. And under 6, hopefully, if we get down there, if the riggers let them drop down there, We'll get a little pile on down to the 5 area. Maybe our 450. Man, what a grind. They're just playing so many games here. What is the big deal? Let the market slip a little bit. Dow's up 5 points. It's wimpy. There's no big anything going on. Why can't the market just sell off a little bit? Oh, it can always tick up, but they just can't even tick them down. They can easily let them tick back up. Where is the down ticks? Markets go up and down. Do I have to explain this to the riggers? Hey, riggers, come to one of our classes. Markets go up and they go down. Wow. I know it's a weird concept for you guys, but when buyers come in, it gets overbought. Then sellers come in and they keep coming in until it gets oversold. Then buyers come back in. That's a normal market. That's human nature. That's the way things trade. Feast and famine, panic and exhilaration, but not with these guys. You can see it in the ticks. They're just not letting them tick down to even a point lower. I think it's coming. The indicators suggest it's coming, but there is a blocking effort. Anyway, hold short. Let's see if we can take them down. I'm probably going to, well, okay, here we go. A little improvement. Still waiting, but I might clip this thing, or let's do this. Let's immediately move this to 5 just to start. We'll start trying to a little bit micromanage the trade a little. All we want to do is get them to 5 now. If we can just break them under 650 and then punch them under 6, there could be a selling pile on. But see, here they go. They made that little dip to 675, and they can, oh, the market can easily manage to ramp its way up to 8.25, but it can't make a little slightly lower move. That's what's so disgusting about these riggers. And they're not trading in our mini NASDAQ here, but they're propping it up by, I believe, on the cash market, stuff like that. And again, you can, I have a special report, 2 reports. One's a video that you'll absolutely love. Good for the family. It's a whole history of the riggers and how all this started when the United States was formed, and how we see it so much here in the stock market, but it applies in many areas of life. And there's a report very specifically in there about the, applying to the Government Accounting Office and the missing $16 trillion in 2008 and the so-called banker bailout. Gee, what happened to $16 trillion? Well, this report explains it, identifies the banks that were funded, a good portion of them not even U.S. banks, and I believe they're running rigor offices out of those banks. So anyway, let's see, now that I've exposed them. Everybody knows this stuff now. It's actually common, but it's very important if you see this film and get this report on the riggers. You'll love it. It's not a film about spoofing the S&P. It's a global, you need to set an hour and a half aside. You're going to love this film. It'll blow your mind. We're talking big picture rigging going on. Unbelievable. Watch out. Here we go. Looking for 5. We got 6 coming in here. Let's smash 6 down and get that 5 action going here, and we'll end our session here. 575, 575. We're going to take them out at 5. We're going to end the session here. Let's see if we can get 6 out of the way. We got a hold here. They're going to try to flip them a little bit. Let's try to get 5 going here. Trying to take them out at 5. Short at 750. Looking for 5. Trying to break 6 down. They should be willing to go lower. 450 is probably in the cards, maybe even lower, but right now we're just trying to get 5, and I'm glad to see they are breaking down in line with our indicators, but it's not good enough. We got to get them lower here. We got to get them down to 5. So let's crack 6 and put some pressure on 575 and knock them down lower. There should be a selling pile on here. It shouldn't be a big deal. See, but these, you know who, they just can't let it sell off a little bit. Can you believe it? They went right down to 575, tapped it twice, if I recall, and they just won't let it sell. It's terrible. Very grindy day, but we're doing all right. Let's just stick with the plan. Let's see if we can knock 6 out and smoke them down to 5, and then we'll call it a day. We'll be done for the session there. If we can just get this thing down to 5, and it'll be a good day for us. Every day is a good day, win or lose in trading. You got to, make sure and go to my Day Traders Action site, daytradersaction.com, and scroll down the site and you'll see working with trading affirmations. You got to read that every day if you're a trader, especially in these futures markets, any market. But if you're a futures trader, you got to go to that affirmations page, study those, read them every day, give your mind a bath every day in the wonderful results of these trading affirmations. You got to have a system that's working, and that's why we promote Boomerang Day Trader, my software, which has very high level of winning trades, and winning trades, I like to call them trade signals. A trade is when you put on the trade. A trade signal is what the software gives you. A software doesn't trade. Sometimes they have auto systems, which I don't have a lot of faith in, but I'm just saying software gives you signals, and if you take the signals, it becomes a trade. And we're still grinding. Look at that. Still grinding. Can't even get the thing to bust 650. Look at this. It's thoroughly, I hope you guys see what I'm talking about here. It's thoroughly disgusting that these riggers can't even let the thing sell off under 6 a little bit. They got to come in here and jack it back up to 8. No rhyme or reason, with some big goofy spike. Unbelievable. And, we can say it's the FOMC notes announcement too or whatever, but I just call it rigging. Propping up the markets when they want to sell off a little bit here, and they can't even let them sell off a little bit under 6. Totally ridiculous. Anyway, hold short. We're going to try again. Try one more time here. Otherwise, I may just clip the trade off. Let's see if they can roll them back down and back the thing off again. We've had a great day so far. We just got to get this this 750 to sell off to 5 here. Don't know why they're playing this game. It's just it's got to be the general perception of the Federal Reserve notes it's called the minutes. They publish the minutes of their meeting, and it talks about some of the things they talked about. So maybe people are thinking there's going to be some hint in there about them raising interest rates or whatever. So people tend to sit and anticipate when advanced copies of the notes or the minutes are going to come out, etc., etc. But 2 o'clock is when they announce all that. Let's see if we can just get out of this trade. Got plenty of time. It's 2 hours away, but the results of that anticipation appears to be why this market is getting so propped up here today. Let's give another chance. Same old routine. Break them down under 6. Knock 6 out. The last low was 575, so that's now our new formidable number, 575. Knock 575 out and smoke the market down to, we're looking for them to go down to 450 to 5. I've got the limit set here at 5 because of the way they're acting. Otherwise, I'd actually probably move it lower towards 4, maybe down to 2 again. But you can see the games that are being played here. I'm just trying to manage the trade based on the rigging and propping games that are being played here by the Feds. Still trying to give it a chance to roll back lower, and I sure hope they don't come in here and try to spike the thing up in our face. And they might. That would be par for the course. They are refusing to let them break down. Look at that. Anything but lower ticks. Just blocking them. I'm really concerned about a big spike in our face here, on the upside. Spike to the downside, I wouldn't mind that at all. That's what happened on our last crude oil trade. But these goofy riggers, they might come in here and say, well, we got to just walk away from this 6 number here. Oh man, just can't get it to cooperate. Everything comes in. The indicator shift, you saw we got that slight downside shift with the indicator shift I talked about, and it's just not good enough for these riggers. They just won't let it go. I'm still holding short, still expecting we could see them back off, but it's getting riskier every moment that goes by because the absolute lack of selling response here is a real concern. Let's try one more time. See if we can take that price down under 7. It should be in the cards that they can take them under 7 and knock 6 out. And then we got that 575 as the last lower dip. I think we got the right configurations here. There should be a chance to roll them back down. Let's get them going here. There you go. You're watching 575 to get taken out and knock them down to 5. Still looking for that. We're getting the response we want so far. Let's see these riggers can just take a break here from their games and let them just. We're looking for a micro drop. Why do I have to negotiate with these riggers? Just let the market drop down to 5. What? It just went 5 1/4. They just went 5 1/4. Missed it by a tick. 550, 550. Come on, let's break them down. 5 half, 5 half. Looking for 5 even to clear. 4 1/2 is still in the cards, but I'm just moved it to 5 because of the way they're acting here. 5 1/4. Look at that. Stalled. We can't get 5. You better not go back to 8. What is with 5 1/4 stalling? Now 550. Give us a 5. What is the big deal? Oh, you got to be kidding me. And we can say, oh, woulda, shoulda, coulda, got out 5 1/4. Well, we're set a limit at 5. It was originally 450. Look at these damn riggers. They went 5 1/4 and sat there. You swear they're in the room watching us here. They're not. No way. Look at this crap. Can you believe it? Went to 5 1/4. Everything followed our script exactly. It went right down to 5 1/4, 5 half. Instead of popping it on the downside, which had all the force rolling on the downside, the riggers come in and prop it all the way back up to 7. It's madness. They are really worried about something. They're acting very strange today. Let's try again. It's thoroughly disgusting that they couldn't give us one more tick on the downside, because 450 is still in the cards. And why they couldn't at least just go 5 and miss 450, I can understand that, but Anyway, let's try it again. Let's see if we can hit him again back under 6, knock him down to 5. I still think we're going to get it, but it's getting a little tricky out here. I'll be glad to get out of this trade and end our session here. Getting too late in the day with this special day, with this Rigor minutes report. If you get my report and watch this movie and read the report on the General Accounting Office and everything on the missing 16 trillion, you'll see why I don't have a lot of kind words for the Federal Reserve, and I call them the riggers. You'll see crystal clear. You'll be amazed when you watch it. I highly encourage you to order that. Just email me at mohan@daytradersaction. Be glad to send it off to you. And make a little extra effort just to we do a lot of education in our services. We trade live, we do all that stuff, got great services, got 95% winning stock picks, and we do a lot of education on the side with stuff like this, the stuff I want to send you about the riggers. You got to have this education, and it's a good family movie. It's very well produced. I mean, it's very nice. It's designed that your family can watch it too and give them an education so they're not, you know, having some kind of starry-eyed view of how things are. Better to know the truth. Anyway, let's see if we can break this thing down. Can you believe it? It's like pulling teeth to get 45 here. Look at that, 46 still hanging up. Sure, I want to take profits, but you can't let your emotions rule the game. Yeah, and if they go to 8, it's a bummer, but this thing right now with this pattern should be easily able to roll back to 5. I mean, if nothing else, you got to see live before your eyes today how the rigor props the markets. We're either going to get a downside crash or they're going to go right down to 5 again, 5 1/4, which was that last lower tick where they just stalled. And they're going to come in here and try to ramp the thing up to 51 and just blow out anybody who's trying to short the market. I think they're just going to dibble down and hit 5 for us. But man, it's like pulling teeth trying to get this thing to cooperate a little on the downside here. This morning there was a lot of fluidity on the downside. In fact, all the higher time frames turned bearish earlier this morning, and I thought, okay, here we go. Maybe this is where they're going to really roll back the market some. But now Dow's up 5 points. They just keep playing the game. Let's see if we can break 6 down, get that 5 action going. It should be in the cards. They should be willing to drop down there. I rarely have to hold a trade this long. When we get all our forces lined up on the right side of the market, usually the trades go right in our favor. And our record is 7 seconds. That's an amazing record. I've had 8 seconds one other time. We never quite beat the record. Have a lot of 20 seconds and 30 seconds where you get in a trade in a fast market. Boom, filled. But 7 seconds is our record. And you got to love that. The little talking lady says, order filled. And then, or he says, short at whatever. Then all of a sudden, before you can even finish up the little electronic lady in your trading platform, if you got one of those, I do, is talking over herself. Order filled, order, entered, order filled. 7 seconds. Gotta love it. Look at this darn market here. Every reason to easily slide down to 5, and they're just dibble-dabbling around here. Absolutely weird. Very, very weird. They should be able right now easily to break. I'm getting a little frustrated, and I don't like to feel that emotion because everything here should allow this market should be easily willing to slide down to 5. And look at this nonsense. At least you're getting an education on this. I'm so used to this crap. I've seen it and been talking about it for a long time. This is disgusting. Look at this. How are they 750? Everything they had there ready to roll back to 5, ready to go. And these clowns come in here, can't even let it tick a few ticks lower. They're really nervous about something. That's why they're propping it so hard. I don't know why they're doing that. It's very, very odd. Okay, I'm kind of losing patience with this trade now. That one should have, that last lower move, which went right to 6, should have broken to 5 easily. Instead, they're still propping up a few ticks here and there. I get the feeling that they should be ready to go lower, but every time they do, they're coming in here propping them, and that really bothers me that they're not letting this thing go. I mean, big deal, whatever, but you know, it's quite disconcerting in my view that they can't even pull it back up 2 points. We're watching 6 to break down. 575 is a key number. Breaking 575. Well, the last low under that was 5 1/4. Remember that, where they went right down there and stalled one tick above our exit. And that was what, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes ago. This is really ridiculous. But at least you get an education on how these markets are rigged. And I'm probably one of the only people talking about this, running a live room that actually talks about it and identifies the rig as it's happening. A lot of these other people, honestly, they're just completely clueless. They don't even have a volume meter in their room. This is a volume meter. If you don't have a volume meter, you're like driving a car without a gas gauge. What idiot would drive a car without a gas gauge? I mean, you can't. They all have gas gauges, but oh, take that out. You don't need that. I mean, can you imagine driving your car without knowing how much gas you got in the car? Um, Go ahead, exit this trade at 650 or lower. I'm moving the limit to 650. They may try to pop them here, and I hope they give us 650 before they do. All I want is 650 now. Too many games are being played here. Sure, they're going lower, but this is not the. We don't trade to sit in a trade for this long on a micro move like this. So I'm now moved the limit to 650. We're trying to get 1 point out of the deal here. And I'm concerned now they're going to try to ramp it up again. So we're going to try to get 650 out of it, and we're going to just abandon the trade because this is too weird the way they're acting. It's really not a fair system today at all. They are not letting the sell side trade at all. It's being blocked at an extraordinary level, ridiculous level. Oh, brother. Can't even get a. Just right when I moved that limit, I thought, okay, they're going to tick down 1 or 2 ticks here, give us that fill. What do? Spike up again. All right. It's getting real tricky right now. Still watching to see if they can back them off to 650. Hate to do it almost, but this isn't how we trade. We get in a trade. It went our way and missed our trade by a tick. I thought, okay, they're going to hit them. We gave them a chance to come down and hit them again. And clearly, there's just too many games being played. I think eventually they're going to sell off. You know, everything eventually sells off and rallies. But the point is, for our purposes right now and what we're doing today, this is just too much propping and too much whipsaw here. Okay, I want out at even now. 750 limit. Get out at break even at 750. Hopefully they won't ramp the market up on us. Trying to just get out at break even. I'm just this is disgusting. So we're going to just get out. There's 7.5 taken out at 7.5 there. Break even on the trade. Anyway, no big deal. That's just the way the mop flops once in a while. At least we got out of that one before they go to what 52, right? Anyway, so we're up 5.25, which is a decent day on just going on mini NAS points here. 5.25 times 20, $105. $105 per contract times 4 contracts. $420. Not a bad deal, minus the commish. So anyway, we tried, but they're just playing all kinds of games here. You can see in the spiky. There's some agenda going on with the feds, and that's fine. Let them have their agenda, and that's cool.